days of yoga, half-hour classes, because I know we're all a bit busy, and unfortunately that's when we should do the hour classes, but it doesn't always work. The series I'm calling Why Yoga, and I'm going to try and do a different theme pertaining to that question each class that we do. So just ask yourself quickly, why yoga for you this morning? This class I'm calling Familiarity, because that's one of the best things I find about getting back on the mat. It feels like home. The mat feels like home. The group you're with feels like home. You know you're part rather of a bigger collective. Everybody around the world that does yoga, it's kind of like a big club. So the familiarity there, it makes me feel good, certainly. We did this class originally in COVID, and the familiarity there gave us a lot of comfort as well. So we're coming from that sort of point of view. And it might be different tomorrow, the reason you get in the mat and why yoga, but today we'll look at the familiarity. So we'll kind of do just easy, flowy, easy stuff, just to get our bodies moving, really. So finding your position, cross-legged or wherever you're comfortable. Sukhasana or your own easy pose. And closing your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And already you start to feel that familiar feeling of drawing back into yourself. Just watch your breath for a couple of breaths. Become familiar with it again. It's been breathing for you all this time in between classes that we've done, but we probably haven't noticed it that often. So start to notice your breath. And then all we're going to do is take a nice deep breath in and exhale for the same length. Doesn't need to be to the count of 4 to start, just deepening the breath slowly, allowing your body to open to take that breath again, to be aware of the parts of your body moving to allow the breath to enter, of the parts of the body moving to allow your body to exhale the breath. The feeling, the diaphragm in particular, that familiar feeling of that spreading across just around the bottom of your ribs to allow your rib cage to open up as you inhale, and it coming back to center to allow your lungs to exhale. So thinking of the working of the breath, thinking of the flow of the breath, trying to make it nice and smooth and taking it slowly down towards your belly. And exhaling from the belly when you're ready. We'll all be breathing at a slightly different rate here. But there's a great familiarity, particularly when you're all together in a class in the same room, of all breathing together. Comfort in numbers. Take a couple of more breaths, just bringing yourself back to the familiar feeling of being in your body and being on the mat. You have to slow down to start yoga, really, because yoga is about looking at yourself and being with yourself. And when we're running around at full pelt, we're still with ourselves, but it's kind of falling behind. Just take one more breath, and as you exhale the last breath here, controlling it, do it nice and slowly, a little bit longer perhaps. And then let go of controlling the breath. It will still breathe for you. It may have slowed down nicely for you now, and you might be feeling a little bit more here and present and relaxed. So we're just going to start to move our necks a little bit. So we'll start from the top up. So we're just gently moving your neck by taking your right ear to your right shoulder very gently, left ear to left shoulder. Not too far, just a gentle movement, starting to open up the scaling muscles up the side of your neck. Those there's 6 strong muscles that join your neck to vertebrae and to your top rib. And that's what gets terribly tense, those muscles on either side of your neck. So just gently rocking. And then come back to centre and then just gently rotate your head to look towards your right and to look towards your left. You can do it on the breath if you want to take it nice and slowly. But take it slowly anyway. It doesn't need to be as slow as your count of 4, but take it nice and slowly. Be gentle on that neck. And then we're going to take our right hand and place it on the left side of our head. So taking your arm up. But rather than drawing your head over, first of all, try and keep your head up and draw your shoulder up and your arm over. So your fingers come down by your left ear, roughly. And you can close your eyes here if you'd like to. If you don't, it's fine. But otherwise, we're breathing in. And as you exhale, just gently allowing your head to fall over towards that right shoulder again. Only as much as feels comfortable. Do not overextend those muscles. Just allow it to be. And then just rest there. The hand is just a little bit of an extra weight in your head. But if it's too much for you, take the hand down and just do this without the hand there. But you should feel now a gentle opening on that side of your neck, the left side, and maybe into the top of your shoulder or on top of your back even. And then move that hand, just slide it along towards the back of your crown of your head there, so that the weight moves slightly towards the back of the head. And you should feel the difference in your neck muscles again. You should feel it slightly move to some of the other scalene muscles there. So it's just gently allowing an opening in more towards the back of your neck in my case. Funny enough, not so much into my shoulder this way, so it depends where your tension's being held here. And then slowly move your hand to the front of your head. Just take a couple of breaths here, allowing the movement to move to a different part of the neck again. You can feel these slight differences, and it might can tell you where you're holding all your tension. It might be everywhere, or it might be nowhere if you're very lucky. And then slide that hand over to the other side of the head and use it to just gently place your head back up to centre. Take the hand down. Have a moment here where you just let your neck settle. You'll feel, probably I do, quite a lot of stretchiness in that side of the neck. So just let it settle back again. And then we're going to the other side. So same thing, hand up and over rather than head over towards your elbow. Into the centre, and then just gently allow the head to go in the other direction. And notice what you're still feeling in the left hand side maybe. And whether the right hand side of your neck is quite as tense. Now it's quite a difference in my two sides to my neck here. This side doesn't feel anything like as tense, but I do know I hold a lot of my tightness in the left side of my body, so I'm not surprised at that. And then when you're ready, move the hand to the back of the head on the right hand side. Make sure you're not pulling the head over though, it's just an extra weight there. It's quite amazing in my case how much difference there is here. And then move it forward. We're getting to know your body. You're familiar with your body, but sometimes we just don't look at it, or we don't look at certain things happening or whatever. It makes us much more aware, being familiar with ourself mentally and our physical body. So maybe we can catch things before nasty things grow in. Okay, so then gently use your hand to just bring your head back up to centre. And then just let the neck settle. Don't move too quickly. Remember the weight of that head's 7 kilos or something. So just be aware it's still there and it's having to allow your neck to settle to take it back, the weight of it. Okay, so then moving. If you want at any point to recross legs and do a bit of a changeover, then please do. Okay, so starting with movement of our shoulders a little bit more here. So lifting the left arm up as you breathe in and just gently side bending on the right hand side. So armpit to hip, remember, not a fold. So draw down the muscles on the right side of the body and fold over. Hold there gently for a breath or two, and maybe think about what you're doing now. So think about your posture. Think about drawing your tummy in and maybe opening up the front of your body a little bit. You might have rolled forward. Maybe that top elbow needs to go back a little bit, just gently moving it back. And maybe you can extend that arm just an inch or so, just to get a little bit more stretch in your left hand side. And then come back up to centre and release the arm down. I hope you were breathing there. I breathed to go up and I never said to exhale, but please do exhale. Okay, this one we're going up. And we're going over. Use your other hand as your supporting hand, remember, if you need to put it to the floor or your knee. And then when we're over this time, we're just going to gently roll that top shoulder open by taking the top elbow backwards and the head rotates towards the left. And then bring yourself back to centre, so roll forward, staying in that position. Take 2 more of those, just rolling that upper chest open on the left hand side. Using your other hand, your right hand is helping with stability here. So if you can do it without, then fine. But if you can't, then fine too. Just make this easeful. You'll get a lot more out of it if you're not tensing up to try and hold on into the position. And then back to the front, gently moving back up to the top and releasing the hand down. Other side. So we're going to take the right arm up as we breathe in. Exhale over. Think of that armpit to hip rather than folding, and opening up the right hand side this time of the body. Think about the top shoulder, the top elbow where it is. If you feel a shadow in your face, you want to take that elbow back a little bit. And that will already start to help the posture, but draw your tummies in if you find you're sagging a little bit like me. And then inhale back up to the top, release the arm. We're going to take it over again and roll 3 times. So inhale up, exhale over. Next inhale, you're rolling open, taking that top elbow back, opening up through the upper chest on the right hand side, looking round to that side as well, a little bit of extension through the back of your neck. Take that 2 more times, inhaling, rolling open, exhaling, bringing it back. And then after your third one, bring yourself back up to centre and release the arms down. Taking it slowly, you'll feel this more in your body now and after probably. Okay, so we're taking it both arms up here as we inhale above our head. And then as you exhale, we're opening up the back of the body by just rolling forward very slightly. Tuck the tummy, lift up through the back of the shoulders and open up the back of the spine at the top, the thoracic spine. Hold and breathe. So a little bit like a bullfighter feeling this one. And then inhale back up to the top. And exhale the arms down. Inhale, take the arms back up one more time. Rolling forward again into that upper cat back feeling. So lift up through your sit bones, lift up through your tummy. Tuck your tummy under your ribs and roll open the back of your shoulders. Maybe you go just a little bit further this time. And then inhale back up to the top. Stay at the top this time. And as you inhale, reach up through the side bodies. And as you exhale, roll your heart forward and come into a little bit of an upper back bend. So not too much. Keep that tummy engaged. Hold for a couple of breaths. Bring it back up to the top. And then release the arms back down. Have a little roll through the shoulders. You might be feeling this a little bit because if like me you haven't moved those shoulders very much recently, then you might be feeling it. Okay. So hands now on the side of the floor here again for stability. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to roll forward. So tuck the tummy. Take the head forward a little bit further this time down through the thoracic and into the lower back if you can. And then move your right hand under your face once you're down there. And then we're using that then as your stability and doing elephant trunk. So all we're going to do is take the other arm, lift it up. You can do this without lifting the arm, you can just rotate, but we're rotating and looking towards the left side and taking that arm up if you want to behind you. And then releasing it back down. So 2 more of those. Inhaling, lifting up. As I say, you don't need to lift the arm, you can just rotate the body and the head. But we're rotating into a little bit of a twist here. 1 more, inhaling up, exhaling down. So we think we're moving shoulders and possibly you're feeling it through your body here, but your hips are actually opening all this time we're doing this. Replace the left hand where the right hand is and take it to the other side. So inhaling up and opening your right hand side and a little bit of a twist, looking up and round to the back of you here. Exhaling down. Take it really nice and slowly, these movements. It's body weight we're using here, and the slower you take it, the more you're using that body weight. So it's resistance training, really, if you take it nice and slowly, which is really good for us. Bit of resistance in life. And then bring your hands back down. Walk your hands back in. As I say, if you haven't already uncrossed and recrossed legs, please do so. Give your legs a bit of a shake out if you need to. Last one in this position in cross legs. I'm taking the right hand up as you inhale and rotating it as you exhale and dropping the right hand down the outside of the left thigh. So you've gone into a twist to look towards the left hand side. And we're staying there and just taking a couple of breaths in this twist. So maybe you can lift up through your crown and sit bones a little bit more as you breathe in and exhale. And maybe you can rotate your head just a little bit more. Maybe that back shoulder as you inhale, you can take it back a little bit and exhale. So use the inhale to do the little adjustments and open up a little bit more if you can. If you want to just sit in the twist in a comfortable position, then that's fine. And then inhaling, we're going to take the arm back up, release back to the front, pop the hand down. Left hand up. Same thing, rotate on the exhale, take the arm down. So the left hand's now somewhere around your right thigh, maybe on the outside if you're comfortable. Couple of breaths here. Thinking of lifting through the body. Adjusting maybe little parts of you to look a little bit further round into the twist. Not pushing it, not going too far, allowing the body to come with the breath. And then inhaling, lifting back up, exhaling back to the front, and that part's finished. Okay, so take yourself off anything that you're sitting on. Now we're going to come into all fours. All of this is pretty familiar, so does help when you know what you're doing. You feel you can do the class better. Sometimes it helps to throw an odd curveball in, but okay, we're all in all fours now. So we're just going to take a couple of cat-cows in your own time. Remember, we start in a long neutral spine in inhale, and as we exhale, we tuck the tailbone and come into a cat back. So lifting up through the heart, pushing down through the hands and the knees and the feet. Inhaling, we're rolling through from the tailbone again, start to roll through and open up into cow. So lifting the heart through between the arms. Take a couple more of those just in your own time. Moving that spine might be a little bit clunky feeling. Shouldn't be too bad because you've been lying down all night, so it should be nice and open and puffed up between the vertebrae. It's when you've been sitting too long that they tend to squash those little pillows that are between each vertebrae. And we need to just open them up a little bit again. This is a great one for that. And then sit back into child's pose. So sit straight back onto your heels. Arms are still extended. Head doesn't need to come to the floor because we're going to walk our hands now to the right. And do a little bit of side bend here. So think about dropping that left hip a little bit more onto your heel if you can. And then walking over to centre and walking over to the left. Again, dropping the right hip, because you might find you've rolled a little bit with this movement. That lower back expansion feels really good as well, where the muscles get very tight around the top of your glutes, etc., into your waist area. Okay, coming back to centre, drawing yourself up, back into all fours, taking a couple of dynamic cat-cows now. So inhaling in neutral, exhaling, sitting back as if you were going into child's pose. Inhaling, elbows come down towards the floor and you roll your tummy along the floor or towards the floor and back up into cow. So exhaling back into cat and what feels like a bit like child's pose, rolling through backwards, forward rather, into cow. And then come back up to all fours. When we walk our hands now to the right, give that side a little bit more of a stretch. So come to the right, your knees are staying still. What you want to watch is that you're not putting all your weight now into your right knee. Try and move your weight back to your left hand side and you'll find the stretch again there down below your waist, hopefully. If you want to turn your head to look towards your feet, you can do that as a little bit of an extra opening on your neck. And then we walk back to centre and over to the left, same thing. So just go as far as you feel comfortable, but don't go so far that you feel you're really lifting off that right knee in this case here now. So you want to make sure you've got the weight still onto the right knee and pulling down heavily through that, oh, not heavily, but pulling down through that right hip. And then walking back to centre. And then rocking back and bringing your right leg forward into low lunge. So it can be full low lunge or you can be up on your knee, whichever is more comfortable for you. In low lunge, we're just going to take some of those movements that we did when we were cross-legged. So staying with this in low lunge. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable first of all. Make sure your knees over your ankle. You can wiggle your toes on the front foot. Your back foot's engaged a little bit by pressing into the floor. And then draw the tummy back a little bit, engage that tummy. Okay, so arms we're moving here, but we're staying in this position. If it gets too much, then please move out at any point. Inhaling, taking the arms straight up and extending. So here we're stopping here with the hands above the head, and we're just lifting up through those middle fingers, pushing gently through both feet, and holding and breathing. And then releasing the arms back down. If somebody's got you by the wrist, do that one again. So lifting up, and imagine somebody's got you by both wrists and they're lifting you out of your torso. So you feel a real space come between your ribs and your hips and your waist. And then releasing the arms back down. So breathing in, take the arms up, and we're going into the back bend this time. So rolling the heart forward. And we won't hold this one, we'll just roll back down. But we'll take two more of those. So inhaling, rolling the heart forward as we extend as well. And exhale down. Inhaling up. Nice deep breath. Keep that tummy engaged, remember. Keep the feet engaged. Back down. This time we're breathing in, taking the arms above the head. And we're dropping that left arm backwards and coming into a twist. So rotating towards the left. Arms come into a T shape. Inhale them back up to the front. Take one more that way. So inhaling, exhaling as you rotate and drop the arms back. Come into your twist. Inhaling back up to the top. Exhale the arms down. If anybody needs to take a breather of this at any point, please do. Take it one more to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale. Closed side, so you won't go so far. So be careful of that back shoulder. You might want to just drop it to your waist. Back up to the front. One more of those. Rotating towards the right. Watch that shoulder, please do not force it there. Back up to the top and release the hands down. Take the hands to the floor, take that front foot back and sit back into child's pose, or wide leg child's pose might be nicer here. Elbows to the floor, head to the floor, take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to take that to the other side once you're ready. Okay, so back up onto knees, rock back, take your left foot forward this time. Same things that we did before. So when you're ready, inhaling, extending, holding there for a couple of breaths, as if somebody's got you by the wrists and pushing into both feet, drawing in the tummy, lifting up, and then maybe sinking the hips forward a little bit so that you open up that back hip flexor a bit more. And then release. Take that one more time. Lift up. Move the hips so your hips drop a little bit, they sink a little bit, but don't let the tummy go. But you should feel it, the back hip flexor, that stretchy bit in front of the thigh there, opens up a little bit more. Push into the feet as you lift the arm, take the arms back down. Inhale, we're going into the back bend this time. So inhale, push into both feet and open up the heart as you roll into a little upper back bend. And then release the arms down. Take one more of those. Inhale up, rolling the heart forward, using the feet here to propel you upwards, and then maybe seeing if you can still sink that bottom down. The counter movement here. Take the arms back down, taking the twist, hands up above the head, rotating to the open side first, so your right hand comes back up to the top. One more. Who said this was easy? Should be easy. Familiarity doesn't breed contempt always. Hands down. Take one more to the other side, or two more to the other side, sorry. So rotating to the left this time. Just be aware of that left shoulder, maybe not wanting to go that way too much. Back up to the top. One more, exhaling as you twist. Back up to the top. Take the hands down to the front foot. Take the foot back. Come down then onto your belly and come over onto your back when you're ready. So take your time, come over onto your back. Have a right side body stretch there. So stretch through that hip flexor on the front of the right side and stretch through your armpit. And then same on the left side. From the waist up and down, move this. And then release. And then we're going to walk our feet to the right and our shoulders to the right, but the bottom stays heavy. We're coming into Bananasana. So again, a bit of a stretch in the right hand than the left hand side now. You can hold wrists or cross feet, whatever you feel like doing this morning. But the point is that we're opening up again from the waist on your left hand side. You should feel a nice big stretch down through your QL muscles, etc., down the side of your legs, down the side of your body, maybe even into your arms if you give them a little opening by holding the wrist. And then walking back to centre and taking it to the other side. So we're not holding too long in any of these cool down positions because we're opening up the same muscles again that we've done all through this process this morning. A few breaths here and then walk back to centre. Take your right leg in then into half Apanasana. So familiarity of knowing these Sanskrit words now, that's nice. Bringing your knee into chest. So you're drawing your knee in either with hands on the back of your thigh or in the front of your shins. Drawing that knee into chest, make sure it's coming straight up from your hips rather than going outwards. Doesn't matter how far it comes in, just giving a nice big stretch to the back of your hip here, the back of your glutes, and a compression to the front of your hip flexor, which has been very open. And then release your foot down. Stretch that foot away, do the same to the other side. Have a nice squeeze gently in through the compression of that hip flexor. It feels quite tight. And then as you release it now, you feel it like a dam and all the blood, etc., can flush through it and take away any stale energy. And then just come into Shavasana for a second or two to finish. Have another full stretch if you want to before this. And then settle in Shavasana just for a few breaths as we finish class. So it's a bit of a whistle-stop tour doing a 30-minute class. It's not for everybody, but sometimes it's all we can afford ourselves, which is a good thing and a bad thing. At least we're doing something is the thing. And to do familiar poses during it. All of these things that we've done this morning are things that you can do regularly. You can take them a bit at a time. You can do the whole thing. But hopefully what it does is waken you up mentally and physically, spiritually too. You're ready to go at the day just by doing a little bit of movement in the morning. So how did this class feel? How was it? Was it comfortable? Do you feel, did you find the familiarity in it? Hopefully you did, and that's one good reason for coming to yoga. As long as things don't get stale, familiarity is a real consolation sometimes to what we're doing and what we have to face in life. So please feel free to stay in Shavasana if you want to. For those of us that have to move on, then please have a little stretch out again. Just a rock and roll through the back of your body. Maybe you need to do a few windscreen wipers. Whatever you feel you need to do, do not just jump straight up from Shavasana if you don't feel that's right. Personally, I feel I need to roll through my back a little bit here, so I'll do that too. And then move up when you're ready, back to cross-legged Sukhasana to finish our first of our classes. So we'll try something different on Thursday. It may be a bit, as I say, whistle-stop tour in these classes because trying to get enough into them to make it interesting enough, rather than just holding 3 poses. But we'll see how it goes, and any feedback would be gratefully received. Thank you, everybody, for turning up this morning and finding your way into class eventually. See you on Thursday morning, same time. Namaste.